Welcome back to Baby Takes. So excited to be back. We had a huge episode today. Bennett is here, but he is playing right beside me. A video of him right now will pop up on the screen. He's having a very good time. But with Nebraska signing day just ending just a few days ago, there was a lot of big news that happened. We got some new 4 stars, got some new transfers, got some new faces. So overall, Nebraska ended with the 11th ranked transfer portal, second in the Big Ten, according to 24/7 Sports. 41st recruiting class, which we knew was going to be a down year for recruiting. 10th in the Big Ten, but it actually surprisingly did get better. It was originally at like 70s, but with the addition of Mickey Joseph and Brian Applewhite, helped a lot with recruiting, getting flips, and obviously Mark Whipple as well. So before we get started, I wanted to mention 98% of all of our viewers are not subscribed. So if you like Big Ten content, Nebraska football content, there's going to be NFL content, fantasy football content. Go ahead and hit subscribe, hit the bell, like, and then before we get into it, I want you guys to leave your comment down below of who you think the best newcomer is. It can be transfer, it can be freshman, doesn't matter. Whoever is new to the team and who's your favorite guy, comment them down below, and we'll pin our favorite comment. So before we get going, Zach, how are you doing?
Doing good, man. This week will be the last week that I compete up here on the wrestling mat. Not a starter this year, so I won't go on the postseason circuit. I won't compete at the regional level and the national level this year, but I'll be there. So that'll be huge. And then this is pretty far-fetched. It's still in the works. Probably not going to happen, but it is possible. I may be attending the Nebraska versus Northwestern in Ireland next fall.
Oh, wow.
It's in the works.
It's in the works.
Possibility.
We're getting something going.
If so, we'll definitely do something around that.
Oh, for sure. So if you guys didn't know, Zach the other night was the voice of Central Wrestling. He and his friend sat down and live streamed the wrestling duel and commentated and all that. So that was pretty cool, getting his name out there a little bit. But yeah, so before we start, follow our Twitter. We got updates on videos, our Instagram updates on videos, but also follow our personal Twitters. We got updates almost daily. I almost tweet daily about either Nebraska or NFL. Zach sometimes tweets about Nebraska, tweets about wrestling, just tweets about everything. Twitter is a fun place to be in. So let's just start with our winners. So I'll start first. My best newcomer. So what I thought of this award, not really an award, what I thought of this was the newcomer that's going to make an impact the most, like right off the bat. There's a few guys that could have definitely had this, but I went with quarterback Casey Thompson. I just think that I think he's going to land that starting position, and he's proven. And we really need a proven guy back there, especially with Adrian Martinez leaving, him being really the only guy that's played in Division I football. So last year, Thompson threw for 2,100 yards, 24 touchdowns, only 9 interceptions. And since Whipple's offense is QB heavy, I don't want to say pass heavy because he does run the ball with QB a little bit. But it is QB heavy. I think we really needed someone that could step in and take the reins right off the bat. So, yeah, my best newcomer is quarterback Casey Thompson. Excited to see what he can do. Zach, what do you got?
My best newcomer, this is also a guy I feel will make an impact right away. And as you said, Whipple's offense is QB heavy, but, we don't play in the ACC.
Right.
So we play in the Big Ten, and when you play in the ACC, you're going to play a lot of games that are 75 degrees out, sunny, good weather. Then you come to the Big Ten, and you may take a trip up to Michigan or take a trip out to Ohio or Pennsylvania, and it's snow on the ground, winds, 30 miles an hour, and you can't throw the ball. So that's where you got to have good guys in the run game. So my guy will be Anthony Grant, number 1 JUCO running back. He's a 3-star, which I don't know, seems a little low for me, but stars don't really matter in my eyes. Number 1 JUCO running back, 3 stars, kind of, I don't know, seems a little low. But I've seen pictures of the guy in the weight room, and it's absolutely insane what he looks like. It's nuts. So I expect him to come in, really put that run game on his back, and take over with Casey Thompson and him. And then obviously, you still have Gant and all those other guys in there to really keep that run game solid, which is what I really like because, like I said, you're going to play in games at Ohio State, at Michigan, at Penn State, at Rutgers that are going to be, terrible conditions for weather. And you're not going to be able to throw the ball 40, 50 times a game.
Right. Yeah, Anthony Grant's huge. And I think our running backs are just going to be huge this year because you got Grant, you got Yant, like you said, Ramiro Johnson's coming back. He was the lead back for a lot of the year last year. Gabe Irvin might be back for spring ball, something I did not expect. I didn't even know if he was going to be back for next season with how bad his injury was, but he's going to be back. He looked great last year. There's just a lot of guys, and we have another transfer coming in that wasn't eligible to come in for spring ball, but hopefully is when it comes time to fall. So we're going to have a lot of depth at running back. And another position we're going to have a lot of depth is at receiver, which is where my next player comes from. So my best best freshman newcomer is someone that actually just committed on the second national signing day. 4-star receiver Janiran Bonner, who is 6'1", 193 from Georgia. He was originally committed to Georgia Tech. He had offers from obviously Georgia Tech, Michigan, Georgia, Auburn, Oklahoma, just to name a few. I mean, this guy was legit. And as I said, we have so much depth at receiver, but I think Bonner is good enough to play right away. With how much Whipple has used receivers in the past, I think having a deep room will only benefit as you want to keep guys as fresh as possible. So the way you do that is you rotate them in. Hopefully, Omar Manning gets a lot of the snaps. Xavier Betts gets a lot of the snaps, but also we have that third spot that kind of we need people to rotate in. And I'm really excited to see what Bonner can do right away and in the future. In the future, I think he can be a beast, but I think he's also going to contribute right away. So who's your freshman? Who's your favorite freshman?
Yeah, so Bonner was definitely up there for me. And the way I looked at freshmen is a lot of these freshman guys are not going to compete right away. Mm-hmm. We've got a very good team going right now, I think. And so a lot of these guys are not going to compete right away. And so the guy that I like the most is Dakotas Crawford. He did get a lot of hype around his name and just the fact, his area. I think was he committed to LSU?
He was, yeah. He switched to Nebraska when with Mickey.
Yeah, and so I think that got a lot of hype around him, which could overhype him a little bit. But he is a 3-star, and what I really like is his build at 6'1", 178. A lot of speed in that kid. I feel like he's going to be a really big deep threat, which I feel like we need. We use our ends a lot. We use screen passes a lot, out routes, in routes a lot, but we don't have that real big deep threat, which I feel like we need. And I feel like Dakotas Crawford and 1, 2, maybe 3 years can be that deep threat for us to really push that when we have guys like Chubba Purdy and Logan Smothers and Harburg in there at quarterback or whoever else may come in there at quarterback. Torres, I think that's the freshman.
Yeah, he's the new recruit.
Yeah, and he may be in there in 2-3 years. Who knows? But can't wait to see what that kid does. Just along with other guys like Bonner and Torres, all these recruits that we have.
Yeah, super excited for all the recruits we have. Really, so much better recruiting class than I expected us to come with, because you heard all the things like we don't have scholarships, like we don't have them to give. We're going to go heavy in the transfer portal, which we did, but also it helps that we got one of the best recruiters in the Big Ten for sure, maybe in the nation, with Mickey Joseph, just flipping guys left and right. There was this meme that I saw. It said, when Mickey's on vacation, he sees a 5-star walk by and he's just automatically like puts his drink down and just looks. So yeah, it's pretty crazy what Mickey can do in just one off season, pretty much. So really excited to see what these receivers can do. But our next one is mine is actually another receiver. It's my sleeper pickup. So not expected to do much, or maybe not expected to do what I think he's going to do in my situation. So my sleeper pickup is Trey Palmer from LSU. He's so versatile. Obviously, a great returner. That's what we got him for. Great, but he's also a great receiver, great runner. He's a former 4-star, and with these days, you're seeing teams use versatility. We saw it last year. Torrey was getting option pitch. He was the pitch back. And not to knock Torrey at all. Torrey is a beast. He just went off in the East-West Shrine game, had 2 touchdowns, but he's just not the fastest guy. So when you get a guy like Trey Palmer, who's potential like all-conference, all-American returner, you put that guy in the backfield, similar to what we did with Wandale. He's a little bit smaller than Wandale, but has got speed and versatility and quickness. I think he can be really good for us. So last year he really took on a good receiver role at LSU. He had 30 receptions, 344 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And he's also, as I said before, great returner. Took back multiple kicks for touchdowns in his LSU career. And I'm really excited to see how creative Whipple and Frost can be with this guy to get him involved, because he's too good of a playmaker not to, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my sleeper, newcomer of the year, this guy wasn't a big name, but definitely someone we need. So last year we saw a lot of problems with our O-line. I mean, a lot of people can say Adrian Martinez was the problem, but what if Adrian Martinez has time in the pocket?
Right.
Then we never play him with a broken jaw, because he didn't get a broken jaw, because he didn't get hit. What if Adrian Martinez, has time in the pocket and he has time to throw the ball, has time to think about his decisions, but he didn't. And so I think we need these guys on the O line, especially O tackles. And so mine is Hunter Anthony. He's a senior transfer out of Oklahoma State. He might have 2 years of eligibility. I don't know personally. But we got the Daniels brothers were at Oklahoma State, and yet they were D tackles. But still just shows that. In the Big 12, they have a lot of offense, and to have a lot of offense, you got to have a good O-line. So I think this is a huge pickup for us, and someone that we really need next year with Hunter Anthony, with Prochaska, with all those guys on that O-line. I think this offense could be dangerous, and we always produce defensive guys. And so I have no worry about the defense. We didn't get a whole lot of defensive transfers, not a whole lot of defensive recruits. I don't think we need them. I think our defense, speaks for itself on how good it always is. So I really like that. Super excited next year to see this offense pick it up and be on the same level, if not better than this defense is.
Yeah, and everyone's saying like you get all excited for these receivers and these running backs and these quarterbacks that we're getting, but who are they going behind? And it's like everyone doesn't think we did anything to help our O-line this year. But if you really think about it, we really reshaped it, because we got 2 new O-linemen, 2 big new O-linemen, and then we also got a new O-line coach in Raiola, who I think is going to be really good. His brother was a beast. He was an NFL player for a little bit. So, yeah, I think he's going to be really good for us. And I think just with new coaching, we get better technique. I think that's what hurt Turner Cochran a lot last year was his technique.
That guy's got a great build, and I'm sure he doesn't want to be bad out there, right? Like, I'm sure he's working off in the weight room. I'm sure he's working his butt off at practice, but sloppy technique will get you. Those little things will get you at that high level.
Yeah, and I think it is a little bit of sloppy technique. Maybe we move him to guard. Maybe he stays at tackle. I don't know. But he was a 4-star, so I mean he's got potential.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited to see if he can really show his full potential. And I mean, there's 4-stars all the time that don't equate to much. But I just think that he has better potential than that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I got. Remember to follow all the socials for video updates and comment down below your favorite newcomer. Click on the recommended video if you haven't seen it yet. And if you've made it this far, comment down below GBR so we know who the real devoted fans are that are watching all the way through. But before we sign off, Zach, do you got anything else to say?
That'll be all for me.
All right. So with that, we will see you next week. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye.